Minasan konnichiwa and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo's podcast channel. So guys, I'm walking back from going to the oxygen room that I explained in my video where I talked about my fingers. I'm pretty sure the video has come out, maybe not. It's actually one of the cures that I'm trying out this year where I stay in a very small room where they heighten the air pressure. They also add a little bit of oxygen. Basically, one of the things that my body is lacking is actually trying to deliver the fair amount of oxygen to my fingertips, and that's one of the reasons why it's starting to rot and such. So I don't know, I just had no clue, but I thought maybe it's something I could try out, and I've been going to it for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and it's actually, I've been seeing some progress, some improvements. I haven't continued to go, but anyways, today guys, this is going to be probably another episode of Shogo is Complaining, and I'm pretty sure for those of you who are listening to my podcast channel, this is something that I don't have to explain, but as a friend, I hope you can listen to what I have to talk about because I just get these comments and messages so often, sometimes even DMs, people directly sending me messages to tell me this. And there's two things, I guess. There's a lot of things, but I just put it to two things today. And the first one is, so the question or what the comment, what people's opinions are is that this world has guns. So this world has guns. Why the heck are you guys training with a katana? I'm like, there's no way a katana can win against a gun. Like, what's the purpose of training of it? Like, why do you think it's so important kind of question, And I really think that this question is so, I don't know, maybe you're the one sending me this message. In that case, I want to tell you that I was really surprised by this opinion because in that case, not just the katana, but like, for example, Kendo or all hand-to-hand martial arts are all useless, right? Because we have guns now in this world. It doesn't make sense at all, right? For every martial art that exists in this world, it's almost like, oh yeah, we've invented the pitching machine that, shoots out baseballs at a certain speed, so we don't need pitchers anymore in a baseball team, I don't know. We have a shooting machine for basketball right now, so we don't need people. Like, why are you guys practicing dribbling, a basketball? We don't need to do that anymore kind of thing. From my point of view, it sounds like that. And of course, if we're going to be fighting, literally trying to take each other's lives with a weapon, the situation would be different. Of course, obviously, yeah. I mean, the Japanese army, like today, well, Japan doesn't have an army, basically it has a self-defense force, but the Japanese self-defense force, none of them uses a katana to try to fight, for example, right? I mean, that is different. The purpose is obviously different. The reason why you play sports, you do martial arts, including Iaido, including Kendo, all these Japanese samurai swords related martial arts is completely different, obviously. Like, I really am surprised that there is a need to have to explain this. I mean, like, for example, there's Vocaloid today now, so why the heck are you guys singing, It's impossible for you to be able to sing perfectly like a Vocaloid. No one has to practice singing anymore kind of thing. From my point of view, it sounds like that, And I'm really surprised that there is someone who would ask someone, I'm not, what should I say, complaining because someone said this to me. I'm just saying that there's so many people around the world who are using a lot of time, putting a lot of effort into what they're training in, what they're practicing, and these words just deny all of those efforts, and time in just one phrase, right? I don't think that's respectful. So I'm just sorry, this is another series of Shogo is Complaining, but whenever I receive these messages and comments, I'm like, that I just really think that's just looking down against a lot of people who doesn't understand the joy, the happiness, the fun of putting a lot of energy into something you love, regardless of if that's the most practical thing to do or not. That doesn't matter. Humans are never that, logical or, we don't have to do anything in that case just to survive. But does that make life fun? Or, does that make our life energetic or exciting? The answer is no, right? So I just really am surprised when I get these messages every time. And the second thing is a little bit more specific, and it's the messages I get whenever. So recently I posted a YouTube story where my senpai at Yushinkan called Takeda Sensei. So Takeda-san was doing a tameshigiri technique, mat cutting technique called hayate. Hayate means the very fast wind. So you have two swords. You have the longer uchikatana in your left hand, and you have the shorter wakizashi in your right hand. And you reverse grip your wakizashi on your right hand, you hide it behind your arms, and you cut up with your longer katana first, and then you cut the one that was just cut from down up with the hidden wakizashi, and then you turn the wakizashi to a straight grip, and then you cut it sideways. So it's a 3-cut move, and it's really, really difficult, by the way. And there were some people commenting in the stories. I'm sure if you're listening to this, I do want to tell you this, but there were some people telling me, well, not in the comments, but maybe in the DMs too, someone's telling me that reverse grip is not practical. It's useless, so you don't have to do it. And like, what's the purpose of doing it if it's useless? Like, some people are saying that, using 2 swords at once is useless too. I mean, the Musashi invented it, but he never actually used it in battle, kind of thing. And there were people telling me that. So what I want to say here is that basically the training that you're doing, it could be sports, it could be anything, cooking, or it could be any kind of work or job. You have to be prepared for any situation. For example, let's say someone kicked you in your arm that you were holding onto the wakizashi, and you picked it up from the ground, and for example, if it was a reverse grip at that emergency moment, you need to be able to use it in a reverse grip, right? What if you said that, oh no, reverse grip is useless, I'm not going to be using it? What if you encounter such a situation where you had to use the wakizashi in a reverse grip? If you haven't trained before, you won't be able to do it. That's the purpose of the training. It's a martial art. You need to be able to be ready to do everything, in any situation. Let's say lifting in soccer. You never do actually a lot, lifting for a long time in soccer, but everyone is able to do it, right? Or you could say, let's say, trying to catch a fly ball in baseball with your glove behind you. Like, you don't have to do it. You just bring your hands in front of you. You could catch the ball, but people could practice it. Why do they do it? Because they want to create miracles during an actual game, right? Only the people who have trained enough to be able to fully control their body, or fully have, a strong bond with the basketball or a baseball or whatever sport it is. It could be swimming, anything. But with the instruments that they play, let's say shakuhachi players, for example, are recommended to sometimes lay down on the floor and play the shakuhachi, because you need to be very, very relaxed to be able to shakuhachi. And if you lay down, there's no way that you can be, nervous, right? So if you lay down and play the shakuhachi, sometimes you can notice how, stiff you are when you're playing, when you're sitting down or when you're standing up. So that's a good method of playing the shakuhachi, or of practicing it, But someone can say, well, you're never going to be laying on the floor to play the shakuhachi. That's useless, I mean, this is training. This is training. Some people, like, for example, Tameshi the mat cutting again, there are a lot of people saying there is, there's no enemy that would just be standing there and waiting for you to be cut, waiting for you to cut them, kind of thing. And yeah, of course, like, for example, there's, again, another example of baseball. There's those poles that you put the ball on top and you hit that, the small kids would use, for example. Are you going to say that is useless? There's a level in training. There's different methods of training. And of course, that one method of training is not going to be completely 100% practical in every situation in battle, but it's something that you need to do to understand and deepen your, experience towards it, right? And if it's completely useless, no one would do it in the first place. Yeah. So I don't know. If you are a person who has been training in it for a really, really long time, and if you are a person who can do the embu, or have higher sword skills than the other person, maybe you do finally have a opportunity, the right, I guess, to state your opinions. But if you're a person who hasn't even put your efforts into the things that you into the things that the other person that you're commenting on has done ever before, then I really don't think that's a respectful thing to do, So this is something I wanted to say. I want to say, first of all, that if the people who have commented me or sent me the DMs, if you're listening to this, I'm very sorry. This is my honest opinions, but I've made a choice to always say my honest opinions. I can't just conceal myself all the time. I think personally this is really important that I have to say. I'm probably one of the very few Japanese people who can explain this clearly, the reason why we do those things that many people state are useless or meaningless, because there is a meaning to it, And if you're going to say this is meaningless, everything in life is meaningless. So Yeah, I just wanted to share this idea with you. And guys, I got a little bit heated up, but please let me know in the comments about your thoughts and what you think. And if you think there's a easier, shorter way to explain what I just talked about, it'd be great if you could let me know in the comments. So then guys, as I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know there's a lot of people studying Japanese willing to come to Japan to study, travel, or work, or even train our traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid that Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future because we're facing a lot of social problems. You're losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life trying to make Japan a better place. I want to try to solve the social problems, preserve and evolve traditional culture, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do this, the nearest goal I have right now is to make the Samurai Experience held by Yushinkan a success. I work as an interpreter there. Actually, I'm going to be working there today. From 3 o'clock, we have one guest that's going to be coming. It'd be great if you can come over, if you have a chance to come to Kyoto, if you can come over to the experience and come to see me. It's going to be amazing. I definitely guarantee you that. And also, it'd be great if you could check out my Ko-fi page where I'm trying to raise money to buy my very first real bamboo shakuhachi, and also our Suzuki merchandise page, which we are selling the limited edition merchandise till the end of 2022. So it'd be great if you could check all these things out through the description box for me. Alright guys, thank you so much. And again, I'll be waiting for your comments. Please have a nice day, and I'll try to enjoy my day too. Thanks so much guys. Bye-bye.